everyone, welcome to episode 17 of the Backstage Knits podcast. My name is Catherine and I am your host of this podcast, which is a knitting podcast, as you can probably tell by the name, with copious amounts of chatter about theater, my life, and other random stuff that takes my fancy. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2016, and I'm coming at you from my apartment in beautiful downtown Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. You can find me on Ravelry as Backstage Cat Knits. There's also a Ravelry group for the podcast, which you can get to by searching the Backstage Knits podcast. I'm also on Instagram as Backstage Cath. So let us dive right in. It's been maybe about 2 weeks since I podcasted. Don't really remember. So I've actually got kind of a lot to show. I have one finished object, two half objects, and a lot of acquisitions. I was putting together my stuff today. I was like, I really didn't do that much knitting. Like I did, but it doesn't feel that much. So I'll let you be the judge. It will be fairly hefty on the acquisition side. So, finished object. I don't think you've seen these before. So, a couple of episodes ago, if you're a frequent watcher, you'll remember that I was talking about Hey Lady Hey yarn, and that Melissa really inspired me in April to complete a lot of projects, and so that my reward was going to be to buy her yarn and her pattern and to knit that. So I did. I actually knit one of these in a day, and maybe like overnight into very quickly, and then didn't touch them for like 3 months. I think I finished this one like May 2nd and started it like late night April 31st. And I knit this one in a day last Wednesday. So this is the Farmhouse Flats by Melissa Stadja. It's a very, very quick pattern. I just didn't feel like finishing one for a month or 2 months or more. So I made the large size. I forgot to measure how much yarn I used. This is her Targy Bulky yarn in the Juniper colorway. It's really beautiful. It's kind of this lightly variegated tonal, I guess it would be. Kind of olive into forest, not really forest. Olive into sage green, I guess. And it's a really quick knit, especially, like I said, I made the large size. If you made a smaller size, it would be an even quicker construction. I probably could have made them a little bit longer. They don't quite fit my feet, but they're good around the house slippers. Highly recommend the pattern. She has sizes in there from like children's small to adult large. So really a wide variety of sizes. You can make it whatever you want, and you can make them really quickly. And they're a nice little slipper. So that's my one finished object for the week. Like I said, I got one of these done in a day. I think that was last Thursday before I left for vacation. I had packed all my knitting and just wanted to finish something. So yeah, there's that. Works in progress. Like I said, I have two half objects. We'll start with the one you've seen before. So you will remember this from last time. Let me actually grab the pattern here. These are my Winter Tornado Socks by Yarn Enabler, which I received for free in a Yarn Box Socks subscription. This pattern is very hard on this pattern, but it just says Tornado Socks, but the pattern on Ravelry is Winter Tornado Socks, if you want to search for it. And I'll link it in the show notes if I get around to writing them. I didn't get around to writing episode 16, so they'll all go together. Okay, we'll do this. Half object. One whole sock. These are knit top down, so you can see where I was last time, not very far into it. Got quite an amount done on them. Yeah. Okay, we appear to be still capturing. Sorry, my computer decided the screen was just going to go blank. Terrifying. Anyway, so they came out really well. The only thing that's funky about them is that you've got, because of the way the increases and decreases are, you've got this weird like bump here and this weird like anti-bump here, but I think it'll all come out in blocking. The stitch count around the sock never changed. It's just, like I said, where the increases and decreases are placed. It came out looking really cool. I love how the yarn is striped up. This yarn is Ella Ray Lace Merino DK in colorway 204, which I believe is the aqua purple colorway. It's not here on the tag. This is 100% superwash merino wool. And so I didn't measure my first sock, but I feel like I have enough left for a second sock. I have just barely started. It's 3 repeats of a pattern for the foot, or the leg. I've just barely started the first repeat. Didn't get a lot done on these because I worked on another sock, which you'll see in just a sec. So, like I said, started on these. They go pretty quick because they are one at a time, top down. So once you get past the heel, it's just all the same pattern. You don't have to look at a pattern page anymore. So these did work up pretty quickly, but I just spent time doing other things, or else they probably would have been done if I didn't have a whole other sock half object. I'm knitting these on Hiya Sharps US 2.5, I don't know, 2.75 millimeter needles. That I'm sure about. I don't remember the US size number. I think it's 2.5, but don't quote me. I think that's it. I like how these are coming along. I am really quite pleased with how a DK weight 64 stitch sock fits me. And now this one has a lot of ribbing, so I'll have to experiment with some other stitch patterns, but you've heard me say this before, my feet are big, and so the standard, a lot of sock patterns are written for 64 stitches, which is why I haven't done a lot of pattern socks, except patterns that I kind of just like make up myself, or like Hermione's Everyday Sock or Blueberry Waffle, which are just 4 stitch repeats, and you can kind of repeat over and over multiples of 4, so I can go up to 72 with no problem. You can see in my last episode the saga of the first attempt at these socks, and so yeah, this worked really well for me, and you'll see in my acquisition section that I have a plan to do that again. So there's that. That is my half object. I will probably have these finished by the next time I podcast. Hopefully, that's my goal. Yeah. Well, since I guess I've mentioned it, I'll show you my other half object, which you actually have not seen before. You have seen the yarn. I did talk about it. It's my rainbow socks. I don't remember why I cast these on, even though I had a whole other sock project on my needles. Actually, 2. One's been wallowing in the everlasting whip pile. But yeah, these are my rainbow socks. The yarn is amazing, first of all, but what it actually is Potomac Sock by Haverland Yarns. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and this is the Live and Let Love colorway, which actually some of the proceeds of this went to the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, which is awesome. So, you guys, Haverland Yarns is amazing. I highly recommend it. I love how, like, it's gonna sound weird, but this looks like crayon drawing when you knit it up. Just the way the kind of the lighter spaces come through. It's washing out a little bit on my screen at least, but oh, it's so beautiful, you guys. So this is a 68 stitch sock, and I did it toe up, fish lips kiss heel, which I extended a little bit. I'll have the mods for that in my pattern page if you want to see how I extended the heel a little bit to fit my thicker instep, not this area. And I, again, made up the pattern myself. I don't want to say I designed it because like, I didn't really do anything, you know, it's not really a design, it's just a little stitch pattern that I put in here. So this is like a feather and fan pattern, I believe it's called, and I've used this pattern before, but I really like it because it almost looks like little rainbows. And so it's rainbow yarn with little rainbow stitches, and so I finished this, I believe right before I got back from Virginia last week. So I've got one sock, and this was my beach knitting, so I got, ooh, there's all my extra yarn. I've got a couple of, I think I'm 5 or 6 rainbows in. So yeah, I did 60 rows of foot, 60 rows of toe, 15 rounds of 1x1 twisted rib. I love how these came out. I cannot wait for the other sock to be done so I can wear them and enjoy them. Highly recommend the yarn. It's amazing. Go buy Haverland yarns. And it came in this beautiful ball, which I love. It's so much fun to look at. I'm knitting these on US 1. No, I don't even know. I don't remember. I think this is my US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles. But again, don't quote me. It is on the project page on Ravelry. I'm sorry, I'm not really fully prepared today. I've done pretty well the past couple of times with no show notes, but then I get to like, what is this needle size? And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So, there is that. 2 half objects. Pretty excited with myself. Maybe next time I podcast, these will be 2 finished objects. However, work on these socks has meant that there have been some languishing shawls. Not worked on my dancing, but I did make some progress on the plane to Virginia. On this you'll remember from last time is my Catkin shawl by Karina Spencer. Really beautiful 2-color shawl, which I printed out this week. I don't remember if I had it printed out last time I talked to you. So you can, oh boy, this little love stitch marker, progress keeper, is where I was last time. You can see I made a dent. Not insignificant amount of knitting was done on this, but only probably worked on this for about an hour. Like I said, the plane ride from Hartford to Virginia is actually very short. So you can kind of see the way the construction's coming along. It's interesting. I'm knitting this out of 2 yarns. The first one, actually I'll do this one first. This is kind of the main color, I guess you would call it. Oh boy, things are just falling all over the place here. Anyway, this is Malabrigo sock in the Zarzamora colorway, which is this beautiful variegated blues and purples and a little bit of green. I don't want to hold it up because the focusing on this camera is just, I'm not dealing with it today, but you can kind of see it from here. And then the accent color is Yarns to Inspire. So Malabrigo sock is a 100% superwash merino. Yeah, I covered up the part where it said that, but I'm pretty sure it's 100% merino because there's no other fibers there. This is Yarns to Inspire in the Wonder base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and this is the Fiddle DD colorway. So it picks up the purples in this skein. There's nothing I dislike about the shawl as of this point. I kind of downloaded it and started it and realized that once you get into some of the second sections, it's a lot more complicated than I kind of originally thought. I just have been focused on socks, and so I haven't really brought this. You may have heard me mentioning this, but I did go down to Virginia, and so I've got a good amount of knitting in there. So that was, today is Monday. That was not the weekend I just ended, but the weekend before that, I was in Virginia. And this past weekend that just ended, I was actually on Long Island. And so we went to the beach. And so this is not a project you bring to the beach, because even though at this point, a lot of the rows are mostly garter stitch, you still need the pattern, yet I'm keeping track on like a separate piece of paper, and it's not good beach knitting. Socks, great beach knitting. This, not great beach knitting. So, whoops, not a lot of work I've done on that. And I was really only home between Virginia and Long Island for like 2.5 days. Yeah, life has been kind of crazy lately. It's been nuts. So that's all active knitting I have to show. Like I said, I feel like it's not a lot. My acquisition sections keep getting bigger and my actual knitting sections aren't going fast enough to compensate, but what you gonna do? Tea, because I'm sipping it. This is a new tea to me. That was my first sip ever. I picked this up at Tangiers, which is a really great like local grocery store slash restaurant in Hartford. I may have talked about it before. So this is St. Dalfour Organic Golden Peach Tea. It's black tea with peach. It's very good. Okay. Acquisitions. I'm so excited about some of these. In fact, like I forgot how excited I was about some of these because I was here last week for 2.5 days and then I went to Long Island and I kind of forgot how excited I was. So, okay. I'll go in order from least excited to most excited. Not that I'm unhappy about any of these acquisitions, but it's gonna get better. So, Yarn Box Socks. This is Tweety Pie Yarn by Phoenix Fiber Co., which is an 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 438 yards, and this is the colorway Mermaid Tails. Just really beautiful variegated golden and green and light blue. It's gorgeous. And it's got tweed in it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there, you can see it pretty well. Like I said, I don't want to fuss with the focusing on this camera today. I'm over it. So, it's really, really pretty. And I don't know if you can see the tag a little bit. It's a little out of focus. Oh, there we go. Tweety Pie Yarn. I can hold it like this so you can actually read it. Duh, Catherine. Nope, that's the wrong way. This will be socks. It won't be a shawl for me. So yeah, maybe a hat actually, now that I'm looking at it. Might be a good hat. So, we'll see. I can't decide which I'm more excited about to talk about next. But we're gonna go with this. So, one of my favorite dyers, I've only bought 2 skeins of her yarn, but her Instagram page is amazing, is Shelly of People Fields. So I knit a shawl, which I showed on the podcast, and I do have 1 skein of yarn, which I don't think I talked about. Which I don't think I talked about. I really should remember to delete the previous episode from my camera before attempting to record again, because this is 2 weeks in a row where it's yelled at me, no more space. What are you talking about? I've been talking 10 minutes. Yes, well, but last time. Anyway, so, People Fields. I saw on her Instagram page that she was gonna be doing a knit along starting September 1st with a pattern that was kind of written for her yarn from the unapologetic knitter, who is Megan Schmaltz. I believe she has a podcast as well. So let me read you the story. Oftentimes there aren't words to express the love between 2 people, but in my opinion, knitting is a physical representation of love in every stitch. The colorways created by People of Fields for this shawl design represent 4 real couples, all who love each other and who have touched our lives in one way or another. Each combination of color is named for the location across the U.S. where each couple now lives: Mesa, Littleton, SoCal, and PDX. So there were 4 color combos that you bought from People of Fields Etsy shop, and then you bought the pattern from Megan, and the knit along will start September 1st. So let me just show you the pattern that I'll be making out of this. I'm actually going to show you this one because there's less of the actual pattern. It was a paid for pattern. Just this beautiful 2-colored shawl, kind of stripes of each color going around. It's a semicircle. And so I bought I believe it's the Littleton color combination, which is 2 skeins of her I forget, it's a singles base. I forget the name of her colorway, but the colors are Sherry and Scott, This is 100% superwash merino, 400 grams, and it's this beautiful, just plain, natural color, and this beautiful pink peachy with speckles of like purple and blue and maroon. It's gorgeous. I'm sad that I have to wait until September 1st to start, although maybe I can get more done on one of my other shawls so I don't have to have two languishing shawls on my needles. So like I said, very excited to start that knit along, and that was an acquisition that week. Then, I'm so excited. I mentioned this last time. I received one of Teeny Button Studios, who is Robin of the Cherry Pearls podcast. I received one of her Princess Bride mini skein sets. I'm so excited. I love the Princess Bride so much, and the fact that I have these mini skein sets is amazing. So I'm gonna, the glare is kind of awful, but you can sort of see there are 7 skeins in here, and this is her 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's 7 10-gram skeins. So the colors from over here to over here are As You Wish, Anybody Want a Peanut, Inconceivable, The Cliffs of Insanity, Prepare to Die, Humperdinck Humperdinck, and Have Fun Storming the Castle. So there's 70 grams here. I might actually make a striped pair of socks, because as much fun as it would be to put these in my mini skein blanket, I kind of want a pair of Princess Bride socks. So thank you so much, Robin. I have no idea if she has any more. I got these on pre-order, but yeah. All right, folks, I'm excited for this last one. So, as I mentioned like 7 times before in this podcast, I went to Virginia last weekend, and it just so happened that I had Saturday morning kind of to myself, or Sunday morning kind of to myself, in Alexandria. And Old Town Alexandria is beautiful. There's a ton of stuff to do, shops and restaurants, and I walked like 7 miles around Old Town Alexandria. So a lot of really cool things. But those of you who are from the area may know that Fiberspace is in Alexandria, Virginia. And it was on the street where I was all day long. So, of course, I went there. First thing I got was the Lavishe lotion bar. And this is actually the scent that they made for Fiberspace. It's a lavender and magnolia. It smells so good. I love lavender. And it's like this cool little lotion bar that you just rub on your hands. I think they make it for knitters and crafters because we are hard on our hands in this hobby. So excited about that. It smells really good. And, oh boy, I can't get it closed. There we go. And so then I was like, well, I really want to buy a local yarn. So I found, they had several bases of this yarn. This is, what is it, I think? The Neighborhood Fiber Co. This is their Studio DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. And so this is, like I said, 100 grams of DK weight. And since my tornado socks turned out so well using 64 stitches and DK weight, I think I'm going to make the Fine and Dandy socks. Which I know have been a really popular pattern as of late. There was a knit along going on, I think earlier this summer, but I think it'll be perfect for this yarn, which is just tonal, not even very much difference between the colors, but it will go really well, I think, with this. I probably won't do contrasting cuff seals and toes because I don't have that much DK stash at this point, but that's the plan for these guys. And then I walked back, and I literally had to stop myself from squealing while standing in the store, because you guys, they had Hedgehog. If you don't know, Hedgehog Flatbird is from Ireland. There aren't many stores in the US, at least that I've seen near where I've been yarn shopping, that sell them. So, I got a little mini, 20 gram mini of the sock minis, and 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. This is the teacup colorway, which is just a natural with pink and brown flecks in it. This will go in my blanket, probably twice. Then, twist sock, which is 80% BFL, 20% nylon. This is the fly colorway, and you guys, just look at it. It is this beautiful, like, seafoam green, but the flecks in here of the neon green and the blues and the purples. I'm so excited to make this into socks. You have no idea. I saw my friend like the day, like a few hours afterwards, and I was still like, I got Hedgehog, and she's like, I don't get it, but good for you. Like, if you were a knitter, you would understand. Yeah. So Flapper Space, really fun shop. Well, that is it for me and all the knitting things. Like I said, I went to Virginia. I got to see my friend from college, and we went to dinner and watched the Olympics. And he took finished object photos for me, which if you follow my Instagram, you will have seen. And so that was, I saw him Friday night into Saturday night. And then Sunday, I hung out, like I said, in Alexandria all day long and met up with my friend who lives also in Northern Virginia, my friend from high school actually, and so we went out to dinner again and walked around Georgetown and got DC cupcakes, which are really good. And then we went out to lunch the next day, and then I flew home. And then last weekend, I went to Long Island. My college roommate's grandparents have a beach house up there, so we went and we spent a lot of time on the beach. We climbed a lighthouse, we went fishing, and I caught a fish. We didn't actually, we had to let him go. He was too small for anything, but we didn't catch any other fish to actually, we were only out there for like maybe 45 minutes of actual fishing time, but it was so much fun, and I caught a fish. So, it has been a busy couple of weeks. I was home for like 3 nights, and really only felt like for 3 days, like it just, But now I'm home. I have the next couple weekends here. I guess the next exciting thing happening in my life is that, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after, I'm going to a Celtic Thunder concert with my friend and roommate. So that will be awesome. And I hope to get a lot of knitting done in general. So that's it for me today. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a wonderful day and enjoy what you're knitting. Talk to you soon.